I'll sit here. I'm going to wait to see the other one pop up.
Oh, it looks like it might be working now.
Still just have that last video up there. Are you seeing something different, Brian?
I still see the last one, but maybe it creates a new link. I don't know.
Well, I'm on our channel, so all of our videos should be on that channel. Oh, yep, we are live now.
Okay.
It looks like it has a bit of a delay. If you don't mind keeping an eye, like we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens there. I hope that stays. Thank you. Okay. Shoot, now I'm gonna get back to this. Very good. Okay. I think that's you, Paula, to link the, yeah. And then we don't need to see the screen anymore. It's a never ending weird.
I can't, I can't minimize it. Isn't that weird? Oh, there it goes.
Oh, hi. Oh no, Linda's everywhere. Okay, guys, let me see here. Let me get my stuff together and just find where my notes were. Okay, on to reports.
Hey, Linda, can you mute like either your iPhone or your iPad? Because you've got two
Things on?
Yeah, and it's creating that.
There,
Go.
that better? I'll just shut my.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Anything, Brian?
We're going on to reports, guys. I'm gonna cover off my rehiring. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm going way behind. Too many things here. Matter of fact, why don't we talk about? No, let's bring it up under new stuff. So we'll go on to coordinator report. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to figure out when to talk about a few of my things here. But Paula, somebody's got two things going.
Not me.
Okay, so Paula, you're up with the coordinator's report.
Well, we haven't done the financial, the month-end financial.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I flew right by because I missed Paul, and Paul's not here, or Mike. So I'll run through those. Jeez Louise. All right. I don't know if you guys are we all looking at the same thing? I've got something else up. I don't know if you guys have that in front of you. If you want me to read through every number on there. As Paul usually does, treasurer's report, ending for a period. Hey. No, sorry guys, those are the past minutes. Aye. Everything in one document is crazy.
Go down to page 10 as a month end for April.
Thanks.
It's okay, Cass. I got a hard copy, so.
Oh my gosh, like I'm like got 10 different pages going on, and now of course our documents for the meeting are just one long.
Okay, page 10.
I'm trying. Hold on.
Okay.
Jeez. Yay.
Screen. Do you see it on the screen?
Period ending 4:30. No, because I was on my own attachment. Thanks, I got it. All right, so bank balance as it stands, 54,664.97 cents. Outstanding checks, which are on the next page, 1960.77 for a BIA ledger balance stands at 52,704.20 cents. Reserve, 35,423 plus the interest we get on that for 35,473.25 cents. Some outstanding receivables for a total of 248. And you guys see those WFCU shares as always. Petty cash stands at 271.53. Deposits clearing 4,480 for a total there. Prepaid expenses and deposits of $2,333.27, bringing our total assets 95,665.25. Tecumseh dollar report.
Candace, I think that's we're still going through in the minutes, are we not? It's
Page 10. You got
No, page 10.
yeah, but that's 331, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you know what?
no
Yeah.
page 10.
You're right. Wait a minute.
It's page 20.
21? 21.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Yeah,
It's page 21.
23. No.
Mm,
No, 23
Page
looks
21
like it's
is May 31st, 2020.
Yep.
okay.
Did the live stream happen to stop again?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
No, I said, please. I hope it did.
I hope it hasn't. It's not funny, Jules. Okay, so let's try that again for period. Let me double check. May 31, 2020. Run through those. Bank balance as it stands, 5226.18. Outstanding checks for 1878.36. You guys see that BIA balance there, 48,347.82. On page 21. So I'm just going to keep going down for a total BIA current assets of $90,643.34. Scrolling down to the Tecumseh dollars, current outstanding is just over $8,195. From zero report, 82,448.34, with our total liabilities and equity of $90,643.34. We also have first quarter levy came in March 31st for $29,250. And then we see those outstanding checks on the back, receivables as well. Questions? Since we're finally on the right one, comments, concerns, and otherwise motion to approve May this time.
Yep. Just a question. I don't see in the link the outstanding and the checks, and am I missing it?
So, on the attachment,
Yes.
it follows the next. Oh, you like. I'm not sure what you mean. If you follow the next page on page 22, I've got outstanding payments and then outstanding receivables. Is that what you're talking about? Or?
No, I only see the month-end financials, and then it jumps into Tecumseh report, and then it goes to the coordinators report. I pulled the link from the town website from the agenda.
Oh, I can't speak to, I'm not sure. Maybe Paula can speak to that. This is the package that we were sent, so I'm not sure.
It's on our package because I printed it off. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, Brian, I don't know what's on the town's website because what I sent to the board, what I sent
Is
to
what Laura got. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, maybe there's some stuff missing. I'll find it.
And I don't know. Yeah, perhaps it's weird that specific page was taken out. Could
Do you see on
let
the
me know if you
screen?
find out.
Do you see on the screen where it says?
No, you're not sharing the screen anymore.
There's only 4 outstanding checks. It starts with Ocean Bottom.
That's right.
Text Talk Towner to come see and Bedazzle.
Okay, do you see it now?
Yes.
Yep.
Can you see me now?
Okay?
Okay, yeah, I see it there. Yeah, for some
So
reason,
the outstanding checks match what's on the outstanding on the financial report.
yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's interesting that it wasn't on that link. I wonder if it was taken out. I'm not sure. Okay, in that case, again, motion, if there are any questions, concerns, or motion to approve. Thank you, Linda. Anybody second?
I'll
Scott?
second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Brian? I think that's everybody. Okay, thank you. Carried. Let's go back to my other screen here. All right, Paula, now you're up.
Okay, I've got some additions to add to my report, so unfortunately they're not in this, but we'll go through this. So new businesses are Laura White, Desjardins Insurance, Northern Alliance Commodities, also Mathca, which is where
Gilligan's.
was, it used to be the Broken Egg, and also Tecumseh Golf, which is in Village Grove. Members closed, we have the Second Cup, Little Gems Children's Consignment Boutique. We also have Sylvan Learning and Lakewood Cafe. We also have a member who has a new address, Home Instead Senior Care is now at 1071 Les Bronx Road. So currently, currently we have 402 businesses that are open. We have 3 associate members. We have 40 empty units and buildings. We have 16 empty lots, 12 commercial homes. We have 139 property owners. I can't verify that, but that's what I have from my last report from 2 years ago. 29 plazas with a grand total of 609. So we have 6 entertainment, arts and entertainment, 57 dining, 136 health and wellness, 14 commercial, home and commercial services, 62 professional services, 127 retails, and 16 vacant lots, 139 property owners, 40 vacant unit buildings, and 12 residential commercial homes. I don't have any new associate memberships, but I am trying to get a hold of Silver Tea because I know that they were very interested. I haven't heard back from them. And I still haven't heard from Lombardi or Sherwin-Williams yet. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it for my report.
Thanks, Paula. Council?
Andrew, did you want to?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll get going. Just give me a second here to got screens all over the place, so bear with me.
It's okay, I hear you.
Can I ask a question first? The
Sure.
council report, how come they go all the way back to March?
I mean, in the minutes, there had been that amount of time based on like there was a period of time when town council met a lot more often than the BIA did, so that's the reason for it in the minutes. But anyway, for this time, there's only been 2 meetings since the previous BIA meeting, so
Okay.
I'll get going. I'll start on the 26th. So the town has been pretty susceptible to the whims of the province of Ontario in terms of the cease and desist, the emergency orders, just as all of our local businesses have, and the carrying out of services. It's been the same. Construction was shut down for some time. We also, there was a lot that could not be done. However, with the change in the emergency orders, there's been some improvement on that front. So, for example, the construction of Town Hall has resumed. There's also been the construction of the berms on Riverside Drive, right at the shore wall or the shoreline. So that that was done also through different emergency order. There are two that are kind of competing in the town Tecumseh right now, the flood one, the risk of flooding, as well as the COVID. So with all that, there have been a lot of just a lot of decisions related to the health threat. And the hope is that we will get through this as quickly as possible and not have, just, offer as many services as can be done safely. So the arena is one where the water line had burst. There was, it wasn't obvious, but we had to authorize a kind of emergency repair to that. It was timely because the ice had been removed. Building permits in the year 2020 actually is, interestingly enough, despite COVID, that took place early March. They're up by 17%. So there's still some building activity going on. We don't have the next quarter, the second quarter yet. That hasn't concluded as of yet, but that should be also interesting to see. Council approved the site plan agreement for the new Valente apartment building. It's called the Gateway Tower. So that'll be next to the TD branch at Tecumseh Road in Southfield. So that is ready to go. The necessary approvals are in place with the town. There was a motion to allow the administration to have discretion in case of flooding events to just automatically authorize waste collection changes, for example, admitting more materials or waiving the containers. Just in the event that we end up with a flooding situation, we have a lot of household waste that really needs to go for health and safety reasons. And subsequent to that, we moved to actually create a meeting on the 9th. Normally, members of town council are involved with a conference, but the conference was canceled due to COVID. And so we decided to reinstate that meeting. So it was that one was a pretty short one. Last night was a bit lengthier. So town council extended the relief to residents and business owners and property owners for the payment of their taxes and fees and charges. There will be no penalties charged up to July 31st, 2020. So that includes non-sufficient funds charges for those who are on the direct withdrawal, and dog tags and kennel license fees, as well as Tecumseh Transit. There are no fares being collected. So that is going to persist until July 31st. And also, it's not guaranteed yet, but the ask has been made of Essex Power to do the same. Next, town council decided we could not operate our events this summer, given the circumstances that we're in. So that includes the summer concert series, Canada Day, the outdoor movie nights, and the campfire fireworks that usually happens on Labor Day. Just the unknowns and the current provincial regulations with respect to public gatherings do not really provide us with a way forward to maintain these events for the time being. However, we did have some discussion regarding once the regulations from the province do change, creating some new events that could operate safely. In addition, you may be pleased to know that the BIA is actually a pioneer when it comes to electronic meeting. And so as a result of the BIA's request to have electronic meetings, now there are two other committees that report into town council that have also started meeting electronically. That's the Police Services Board and the Committee of Adjustment. So the Committee of Adjustment is especially important because those are minor variances and charges, or minor variances, severances and zoning types of issues. But those were all being held up in the absence of your requests coming through for electronic meetings. So because of the BIA's request, these are now possible and are beginning shortly. We were also provided an update with respect to Tecumseh Road. This is not the CIP improvements, but rather a sanitary sewer improvement that'll be done in advance of the CIP. It's really going to add additional sanitary sewer capacity down throughout our Main Street area. The project will begin in mid-July and continue on until the end of November. The traffic will remain open. It'll be open 2 lanes. And so there shouldn't be too much impact to businesses, but there will certainly be some challenges inherent with noise, dust, and certainly pedestrian access. So it's certainly worthwhile to get the message out. The town will be sending out notices. There's going to be an invite to an electronic meeting so that owners can express their concerns and speak to staff about that. So that should be happening in the next couple of weeks. Town Council also approved emergency repairs for the pump station at the end of Manning. There's been some erosion behind in the pond, and so $100,000 has been allocated to fix that properly. Town Council received an update from ERCA about protecting our drinking water sources, and so everything seems to be well underway. This was the result of the Walkerton issue many years ago. So there was a known gap identified in terms of reporting where drinking water sources were. So the town and Essex region as a whole are making good headway on finalizing what the legislation requires of us. So that's pretty much a ballpark summary of what went on for the last 2 meetings. Happy to receive any questions.
Andrew, do you think that when the town sends out the notices about the sewer improvements, that they can give one send it to the BIA first, and then I can send it out to all the members that are literally included in the CIP or on Main Street?
I mean, I can certainly ask, but I know that the town does like to send the notices out directly so that they know that they have some control over that, and they can credibly say, yes, we delivered the notice. I mean, we can take that back and make that offer to the town.
Yeah, even perhaps if it's just including us in something that goes out to the membership, so we can also, follow up with them, ensure they're checking those emails, that they're aware, and kind of stay ahead of some of those things that, we might hear about.
Yeah, I think I would certainly expect that you'd be receiving the notice as a default position. But yeah, we'll take that discussion offline and find something that works.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I swear my whole backyard is going to blow away.
Yeah, I keep looking at mine too.
The hail is unreal. I'm scared everything's going to go. Okay, where was I? Again, thank you, Andrew. Moving on to committee reports. I'll get started with the marketing committee. And this was one of those items that we were going to discuss in the special meeting, which were license plates. I had sent that information out. I hope everybody had a chance to review it. So I was hoping we'd come prepared for that. So I sent a bunch of information, just kind of catching us back up because we've been working on license plates since the fall. So, bring everybody up to speed where we were with quotes, from 500 to 2,500. I had sent to the board the quotes that they provided on 200 and 500. But I'm going to get to my recommendation in a minute. Again, we are bringing, this is coming back up because last meeting, Brian did make the recommendation that perhaps we look at a lower number on these to be mindful of our budget. And so after a little bit more consideration for myself and the marketing committee, my recommendation is that we do them. I'm recommending that we do 1,000. 1,000 is $1.95 a piece. So $1,900 plus a $50 setup charge. Originally, we were discussing selling these, right? I don't think that's a bad idea. We could still sell them if somebody's interested, but I really think we need to be acting for our members. I know this isn't necessarily something that's going to change business for them, but I would love to put it out there and let our members know that we have these and offer them to them. I think it's a great, considering our budget, and I kind of included some of those numbers as well. And we've seen our numbers in both reserve and current operating. I just think it's a good move. I think it's a feel-good move, you know, that's Comfy proud. And I would like to change where we were, the direction from selling those straight to looking at giving them to the members. Now, we do have the prices that we approved. I think Paula has some notes on that as well, what we said we would sell them for. We can, you know, if somebody outside of there or perhaps just a resident wants to come, I think that's a great opportunity, but I'd really love to get behind it for less than $2,000. I think we could do these, turn them around and start getting them out to our membership. I can give you guys and refer back to some of those numbers that I talked about, but we saw them today, where we are in operating, as well as where we are in the reserve. And we've got to start making some moves and spending some money. And so it's my recommendation to do the 1,000. I'd love to hear back from the rest of the board. Oh, the other thing I want to say too is that we are still, of course, within, and I'll get to that with COVID signage as well. We are very much within the marketing budget. And so I just want to remind you guys of that as well. That's going to be something that I want to discuss under new business when I get to some of the COVID signage stuff, is that we do have a budget and what we're making motions on when we have, you know, when we're moving forward anyhow. But just to give you guys some perspective, Brian, I don't know if you've considered it anymore, what your thoughts still are on it, or the rest of the directors.
Well, I've always got people asking me about the license plates and where we can get them, because I've got them on my car. So I think it's a good idea.
Brian, you had originally talked about.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. I mean, it's almost two different things now, right? If we're looking for it as a marketing piece, giving it out, I think it's a little different than, you know, purchasing them, having them on hand, and then looking to sell them. So, you know, I get kind of both. You know, scenarios. I'm still leaning towards being more conservative, right, than, you know, getting the 1,000. You know, I understand how the print industry works. You know, for, you know, 200 or 500 versus the 1,000. The pricing, you know, isn't that much, and I'd be more comfortable putting in one order and then having to put in another than having 1,900 and sitting on, you know, a whole bunch for years, right? So I would, you know, I'd be more comfortable if we pull that number down, right, rather than have 1,000 of them. But, you know, I'm interested to hear what the rest of the board has to say. We might have lost, did we lose Candace?
Yeah, I think so, because I had a lightning strike over my area and everything kind of just went black. I thought I lost you guys for a minute, but you popped back.
Yeah, there's only 8 participants and we did have 9.
Well, who else is there that can reply?
I mean, if we are saving a fair amount of money from not having some of the events that we normally do, then I mean, if it's in the budget, that's definitely good. But I think, like Brian said, if we don't know what the interest is, to go and get 1,000 might be a lot. But again, I'm not really sure exactly what the interest level is so far. If 1,000 seems like that's easy to move along, then if it's in the budget, great. But if we're not really sure what the interest level is, then maybe it is a bit much to start.
And Paula, do you have the numbers there? I'm looking back at the special, or the information that Candace had sent out. Yeah, and I've got,
The quotes?
I see, yeah, I see 200 and I see 500. I don't see the 1,000
Yeah, for 200, it'd be 205 each. For 500, it'd be $2 each. For 1,000, it'd be 195. And for 2,500, it would be $1.85. And then $50 setup fee.
So
Sorry.
for the difference of 1,000 and 500, I would just say, why don't we just go with 500? But it's kind of like the common ground or the middle ground.
Well, if the board is thinking of giving these, because I think that's what Candace was thinking, talking about, is giving some to each member. You have to remember, we've got at least 400 members, thereabouts. So, I'm just throwing that number out. I think, we can always order more once we get the print, the print is up and running. They'll keep that file.
Out of the
And
400,
just
we'll
to,
probably have
I'm sorry, pardon?
three-quarters out of all of the membership, we'll probably have, I'd say half that will say, great, I'll put it on my car. And then, I don't know.
Right.
I think if we would have had, say, maybe 50 to start, and then we went to 50 places and they all said, oh my God, I'm going to put this on my car. Well, then it would justify saying, okay, the whole membership is going to love these. But if we went with 50, I'm just saying 50 there. If we went with a small number and then half of them would say, oh no, it's all right, I don't usually put things on my car, then we would have a better idea. Right now, we don't really have a great idea. We just have a few hands that went up and saying, I would like one. But a few hands, I mean, if you think we have 10,000 people, and I don't know. I'm just thinking 1,000 for $1.95 or 500 for $2.09. You said is like, it's not, doesn't justify the discount to get double the amount. I mean, if we were saving 50% of the cost, I'd be all on it, right?
I just got back. What are we talking about?
License
plate
plates.
cost.
I was just saying for the difference going from 1,000 to 500, the difference per unit cost is so minimal. It's like not even 10 cents, or it's around 10 cents, that if we got rid of the first 500 and then needed to order another 500 because the interest was so high, then it wouldn't have been such a kick to not have ordered the 1,000 in the first place.
Let me just jump in. The thing is, like, if we're going to give them to members, are we giving them one or two? Who's interested? And you're right, we can see what the interest is like, but it's not that different. And we have the money. We have money that we have got to start spending. We are a nonprofit organization with way too much money that we have no plans to use. I suggest this is not the opportunity where we pinch our pennies. It's less than $2,000. It's in the marketing budget. I say we do it. And at the end of the day, again, this is not to say nobody has an input. Of course we do. And this is coming back up because it's something that we discussed with the board, but these are what those subcommittees are for as well. And the subcommittee is making the recommendation, we move forward with it. If you guys only want to do 5, I can appreciate that. I say we do the 1,000.
How much interest has the subcommittee seen? Say out of 10 people.
Well, interest or not, we don't do everything based on interest. We do things based on ideas, right? So it's not just, if we waited for people to come knocking on our doors to do things, the BIA wouldn't do anything, right? So for me, again, it's just a number. If it's only 500, then we can just get the 500. I'm just anxious to move and start doing things for our paying members who haven't heard from us at all in this crisis. I want to make sure that we get these ordered and that we start letting them know on social media and wherever we can to come get these, that come see proud, and that we're really trying to get to that thing. So what I don't want to happen is have interest and then we can't even fulfill 609 members, right? What if every single member wanted one? Now, mind you, we couldn't reorder them if we see the interest. It's really what does the rest of the board think at that point? I just don't want to do it because we're pinching.
Your point.
You know what I mean?
see your point. And it's not that much of a difference. It's
Jules, where are you? All we're seeing is your ceiling.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to press the video. I'm in the garage.
The other thing everybody's got to keep in mind is that these are each, right? So do we give one or do we give a pair?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Ideally, it'd be nice to give a pair because you can't
Yeah.
make sure they're going to put it on a preferred, right? You'd prefer the back because then that still is advertising the BIA and Tecumseh and people will see that when they're driving. But I'd love to give a pair to our members. So again, that's two. So even if we had 300 of our members interested or we pushed them, because it's not just interest. I don't want to wait for them coming to us. I want to push these. If their BIA is out there, giving these out. And depending on where we get with new hire dates and stuff like that, again, these are initiatives that somebody could be out getting to our members, pushing our stuff. So right now, to be honest, I'm straight up looking for an answer on decision from the board.
Okay.
How many?
I make a motion to get 1,000.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Two. I see Scott. Joe, you got an opinion there?
He's got his mic off.
I said aye already, yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. I couldn't tell. I'm trying to get through everybody. Brian, I don't know
Oh.
how your vote.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote against.
All right, well, that's still carried. Thank you.
Okay.
Good, okay.
Sorry, guys, I'm all over the place after my power outage. Let's see. Marketing committee, again, I'm gonna save part 2 of marketing for some new business stuff over in COVID. So now we'll do membership committee. I'm assuming I wasn't gone that long and that we didn't jump all over the place. So
No,
brings us to Tecumseh Dollar Program, and Paula has been working on trying to make this a little easier. I'll give it to you to explain, Paula.
Okay, so I kind of rearranged a few things on the report. So in this first block, it's what we redeemed to the members month, which is just in the month of May, which is 1945. Year to date, 20,505. What we've donated so far is, we didn't donate anything in May. We've donated year to date 910. Winners contest or the Tecumseh Dollar draw in November or December. Dollars sold actually in the month of May, 3,160 to year to date, 16,510. We have a discount year to date or monthly of 665. So that's the discount. Also the Square debit and credit fees that they charge us. Year to date for those fees are 3,526.
That looks good, Paula. I feel like I follow it well.
Yeah,
So
it
with
looks
the
nice.
budget,
Good
the
job, Bob.
budget, yeah. So the budget is at 14,000. Currently, what we have left is 10,474. These are the outstanding Tecumseh dollars.
Okay.
So total, again, and that's because of 2018, which we didn't sell, we just donated in 2018. So 2019 and 2020 is 18,725. That's year to date.
Dollars.
Now, yes. Yeah. And then this is what our current inventory is, what we have not sold or donated yet.
Okay, I like it.
looks good.
Is everybody happy with that? Do you want to see less? Do you want to see more? Is it still very complicated, which it is, or very?
Well, we'll use it for a few months. How's that?
For me, I
Whatever.
like it because it's, well, I
However
think
you
part of
want
the confusion when we don't see both on the page, and we talked to that, Paula, part of the confusion was when we talk about dollars versus liabilities, the discount. And so seeing it like this and seeing these are actual the dollars, this is what our lot, you know, what the discount is and what we are liable for versus the, like, I think this looks good for me personally. I don't know how everybody else.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
Great, thank you. Okay.
You ladies spoke about a co-op student that had created some Facebook splashes about the.
Yeah, I'm not happy with them.
Can you still forward them to me so I can see?
Yeah, I have them. I'll shoot those over to you. I want to redo them. I just haven't.
But there might be just a good idea somewhere within it, you know?
Forward co-op. Let me get that off to you. I'll do that right after we're done.
I just rehashed what we had before, but took out a bunch of information because before we had all these disclaimers that there were limited amounts and stuff.
Yes. Okay. Blah, blah,
I think-
blah, blah, blah.
Streetscaping is next, the committee. So I don't have
Uh,
anything on the
yep.
parquet. I don't have anything about the parquet. The bike racks, the Public Works has installed bike racks on some of the municipal properties. And one of them is in front of Cycle Culture. They put two right in front of the store. They look fabulous. And I believe they have delivered the bike racks to the other members who have to install the racks themselves because they'll have to put them on private property. And I'm still waiting for Parks and Rec to put either one or two racks in the BIA parquet. So they did a great job in putting them up so far.
Yay.
Next,
I'm glad to
is the
see them
events.
out there.
Yeah, they look really good.
Mhm.
BIA Christmas party, we still have it held on reserve.
Yep.
The banner contest, if you've noticed, all the banners have been hung around town. I have called all of the students and I'm scheduled, out of the 24, I think I've got maybe 18 now already scheduled next week. Every 30 minutes, they'll come with their parents to the BIA office, pick up their award. And they're also going to get a small little poster size of their banner, take some pictures, and then they can go drive around and find their banner.
Yay.
Also did a great job. This time, I think Parks and Rec is working together to put simultaneously up the flower baskets and the banners, which we've kind of discussed in previous years because they only have to rent the high-low ones. So they did an excellent job of putting up the banners and the flower planters.
Paula, what time do we start on Monday?
You have to be here at 6:30 a.m.
Okay,
I'll send you the schedule because I haven't.
okay,
I'm just
Okay.
waiting for a few more to call and then
Sure.
we're done.
Yeah, shoot that over to me too, and I'll see what I can get. I don't want too many people there and in the office, so.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I've already told them no more than.
you go at 6:30 in the morning then, and I'll go at noon.
Thanks anyway.
Okay, that's it. That's it for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to find here my next thing I want to open. And I believe that's it. Okay, so moving on. Governance committee, so MOU still kind of on hold at the moment. I know town administration was working on stuff and we had some ideas too, but just kind of a little bit deferred. But I did send to everybody. Everybody should have got it in their package. One of the bigger things that we discussed last meeting, of course, was reopening. And we discussed my coming up over the reopening plan, which I did based on a lot of different things.
Yep.
I wanted to start with this because I think this is, important. This is those plans that will make sure we're all protected in reopening. This is something, of course, I believe that, we'll have to make a motion on if approved, and we can get things rolling from there. This has nothing to do with, at this time, a new hire situation. This needs to come before new hire. We're already on board with that. So once this is settled, then we can figure out bringing her in, and then it's going to be the next recommendation to bring that person in. I'd like to make the recommendation, if this is approved and if the board is good with this, that we look at making, sorry, just trying to look at my calendar here. looking at a plan where a new hire would start as early as, let's say, June 29th. I want to kind of look at that kind of lingo, simply because then it allows us, since we're meeting so it's difficult and we're only meeting once a month, I don't want to wait again until next month if I do touch base with the individual and they're ready to start, say, this date after the date we've planned. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, let's start with what's in front of us, which is the reopening. I hope everybody's looked at it because it's a little lengthier than to look at right now. Thoughts, questions, concerns?
It looks good.
Approvals? Thank you, Linda.
Candace, yeah, I've looked at it. There's nothing that really jumps out to me. And maybe Andrew, if maybe if you want to comment, I don't know if we should send this over to the clerk just to review, and I'm not certain how all of the towns, policies and our, COVID framework would, overlay for the BIA. So there just, might be some, value to, having the clerk or our HR at the town just review it and see how it marries up to what the town policies are.
Andrew, do you have any thoughts on that or feedback?
You know what, I'd say it that I agree with Brian that I mean, as a committee reporting into the municipality or a board reporting into the municipality, it's probably a good idea to have this sent over to HR. Ultimately, Laura is in charge of HR as a director. So, and just, request the review, given that the board wants to be proactive in ensuring that it's got the proper policies and procedures in place. I'd be surprised if there was any difficulty in doing that. And I'm expecting they'd be willing to do that.
Great. I'm good for that. I guess my real question is how, and Paula or council, maybe you guys can give some insight, but is there a way to make a motion on this so that, because I just don't want to wait until the next meeting, because now, what we were talking about is trying to get reopening up. And if we wait another month, then we haven't talked to, this needs to come before any offers to candidates. What are your thoughts?
Candace, where did you get the majority of this information from?
A combination of things. Largely, I've got a friend, he's the safety, pretty high up safety inspector in Tecumseh in Toronto. And so he shared a lot of their policies and procedures for offices with me, which gave me, and then some of the government specifications as well, that gave me some kind of guidelines to work with. It's such a crazy time, but we
Oh, I know. No, it looks good. I can't see anything that you would have missed.
Thank you.
I'd say we just make a motion to send it to HR.
Yeah.
As a board,
And
accept the document and then send it to HR for verification.
for like a final approval, right? Because then we're covered to then run by this as long as it's good with them.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
I think, if we approve it pending, review of, HR, then, I think something like that is fine.
Okay.
Should we also then say that after, once it's been reviewed by HR and it's approved, that it also gets added to the Constitution?
No, because it's only a temporary motion. I mean, it's only a temporary position that we have to have. Well, we hope anyways.
Well, I mean, we can use this for any type of pandemic emergency, right?
Yeah.
I'm just asking, I'm just throwing it out there.
That's something we could file though, right? Because we can't add it to the Constitution. Well, we can, but it won't apply until the membership votes on it anyhow, correct?
Right.
So,
I just don't think it's a Constitution document.
well, here's what I'm thinking. If we add it to the Constitution, would it, and here feedback from you is, but perhaps it's not about Corona or COVID, but respiratory viral infections. right? It's that way we don't have to go through all that process again. And there's already an approved,
We
something in
just call them
place.
emergency procedures.
Well, it could go on our policy and procedure manual.
Yeah,
But
there
that
you go.
doesn't need to be part of the motion because we can't,
No,
right?
No. So as a
Um,
board, I make a motion to accept it as is and put it in use once it's approved by the town.
And maybe just an amendment to that, rather than calling it the COVID-19 Safe Workplace Policy. Maybe we just, name this, the 2020 Safe Workplace Policy Update.
That's a good idea.
would
that
it
would
be
be a-
workplace policy, or, because there is no current workplace right? So do we just call it workplace policy or update?
No, well, then just call it the Safe Workplace Policy.
Okay.
May I make a friendly amendment to the motion? I'm not quite certain that approval's needed by the town for this document. So perhaps that word approve could be changed to following verification by the town or something to that effect.
Yep. That makes sense. Jules, it was your motion. You're good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Paula, do you have all that?
Yes.
Wonderful. Second?
yep. Linda,
Thank you, Linda, all in favor?
yep.
Yep, I'm good.
Carried. Thank you. All right, guys. Sorry, where am I?
I think it's blown over, whatever it is,
Well,
at least in Tecumseh.
as long as you're not, never mind. Where am I? Aha. Well, actually, it's not really governance committee, so I'll leave that. Although while we're talking about it, guys, I might as well, I mentioned it. So when approval, do we need a motion on, we've already made the motion and to present an offer to a candidate, which we haven't had the opportunity to do so. Do we need a motion on a start date or anything like that? Or once this, let's say this goes to HR and comes back fine, am I in a position to look at reopening that? Where are we? Do I need a motion from the board with a start date as early as? I want to make sure that we don't set a start date and then that's the firm date, but then a candidate can't accommodate that based on notice, or I'm not sure. It's been some time since we started touch base. So what are your thoughts on where we are with that?
Did we, I think we delegated, or did we not delegate to yourself?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So
we're all set there, correct? As long as this comes back
Mhm.
approved, you guys, and I communicate with the board, we're in a position that I can start chatting with her again?
yep.
Or the
Yeah,
I-
because
candidate?
I
our
believe so.
motion and what we voted on was to basically leave it in your hands.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Just verifying.
And the only comment I'll make is, I mean, if the individual is ready and willing, then what are we waiting for, right?
That's right. That's right. That's why I want to wait until we have an action plan approved, because I don't want to say we're ready, but we don't know how I'm getting in yet. So I want to wait until that's approved and then contact the individual from there. I don't know what where they're at, right? They could very well say tomorrow. So perfect.
And I think we just approved that policy, right? So you're good to go.
Approved with HR's review. Should I wait? Or
Well, we can wait for their comments, but we'll receive those comments, and if we need to make changes at that point, we can.
Okay.
But I think at this
Just
point,
do it.
yeah.
perfect. Yeah, if we're confident nothing's going to really get too held up, that'll be one of the first things I do. So I will keep you guys posted on that front then.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Blah 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 blah. plan, all that's being moved off. Let me see where we were. Sorry, I got too many documents on the go, guys. All right, going into new business. Members reopening. So one of the things, I gotta pull that up now. I had also included with regards to the special meeting, and that we spoke to last meeting was looking at a reopening plan for our members and how we could help. I know there's interests in this, and I think this is exactly, our time to kind of shine and help out where we can. As discussed, downtown BIA has already moved with their stuff, and actually that has spurred a few of our members to reach out to us and ask for some assistance as well. So I provided some information there for you guys and a link if you wanted to look. Again, this is something that the marketing committee can run with if that's easier, and make some decisions on what 1 or 2 signs and or stickers may be best. But business owners around the table and I want your feedback on what we think is important. So in speaking to Lacoste, I picked up, the 2 things that I think, and Brian, I don't know if you had a chance to kind of look and what your thoughts on it. We were kind of spearheading that. But the 2 things that I think, and even, in looking at what some of the other BIAs and some of the conversations we've had in those group chats are, this is the way they're going as well. It's that, 11 by 17 signage, because I think that can apply to everyone. We'd be looking at a sign that's generic enough that would apply to the majority of our membership, stuff like stop, wash your hands, have you done this? Just some of those checklists, right? So social distancing. So we pick 1 or 2. I recommend no more than 2, because again, if we're looking at the quotes at $12.50 each or $4.95 in bulk, so at $4.95, if we did 600 signs, that's $29.70, right? 600 signs, what are we giving, what is the package? Is it 2 signs per business and a sticker? So we have to talk about that a little bit. Or again, the marketing committee can make the recommendation and run with it. Floor stickers, 11-inch diameter. Same thing, there's a bulk rate. So at $5.25 each, I'm recommending 1,000 stickers because again, some businesses might need 1 to 3, right? The big businesses are going to be more corporate. They've probably already got their stuff. Thoughts on some of that information? Again, this is something that I think we need to run with. I think we're a little behind the ball as it is. Other BIAs and business support organizations have hit the ground. Quite frankly, I'm just glad we're not in Ontario's stage 2, because that'd be more businesses opening that we're just not ready for. And I want to act and move on this. I look forward to the rest of the thoughts of the directors. Anyone?
I can jump in. So the email you had sent on the 25th had 3 examples, right? And then it's
Yes.
the one is hey, we're open, welcome. It was the one from Windsor. The ones for the feet that we have there, I see our logo on them. More for retail, right? Or, where people are, lining up. I'm not sure if, the credit union or the bank may take those, right? Because they've got, branding standards. I'm not sure if our restaurants, will take them and put them there. So, it's a great idea. I'm just not, maybe it's the sign and, we have one, made up that, we want run with, but those are just, some quick thoughts of mine.
Anybody else's feedback?
I like the signs. I'm just not sure about the stickers. Because like you said, a lot of them have already got them.
Businesses that are open, there's many businesses that haven't.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, maybe stickers aren't the way. Maybe it's making sure, I'm just following suit of what seems to be the most common orders for businesses, what we're seeing in most businesses, and then what we're seeing other organizations like BIAs doing for their members. But again, same thing. Maybe is it a smaller quantity? Maybe it's not a package like Downtown BIA did. Downtown BIA did a package with sanitizer, masks, if they were able to get those things. Sticker and thing. Maybe it's not a package, but it's, hey, who could use some stickers? Who could use some, I'm not, right? Maybe it's less stickers than anticipated, because you're right. A lot of them, either they're going to be branded corporate, or maybe they've got them already.
I think the sole proprietors will appreciate it because it'll be some money that they won't have to spend.
That's where I'm at, Jules. That's what we're trying to consider is for the average business, where can we help them? We know we can, but where are we going to get the best value to help them?
So what if we ordered, say, 100 signs and see where we go with that?
We could. Here's the other thing. I'm just going to put this out there if the board's comfortable with this. So real quick, I just want to review a few budget numbers. And when we're looking at our budget, total marketing budget at $15,000, we're current at 12, right? So you can see the majority of the budget still there. We are moving forward with $2,000 in license plates. So that brings us to $3,200 on a $15,000 budget. Now, what I talked about is $3,000 and 11 by 17s and another 4,800 in stickers. Maybe that's not the way to go, but would the board like to just give this to the marketing committee as long as we stay within budgets? Or Brian, I don't know if you have some suggestions. We want to work together on figuring out, because we could sit all day and talk about what sign we need and what the design should be. And I don't think we need a motion on this. It's within our allocated budgets, just to kind of keep things flowing. I don't disagree with what everybody said, but we can kind of, it's completely up to you guys. Brian, we can kind of lead that again, or anybody else that wants to maybe help out with that and hit the ground, figure out exactly what we're ordering and do it. What are the thoughts?
Go for it. Marketing committee. Is it just you and Brian on the marketing committee? I don't remember.
Really, it's just me and Paula on the marketing committee. But this specific initiative, Brian and I kind of have been working around.
I'm comfortable leaving it with you guys because, by the time we get the order in and get the order back, get them out there, even if they're just like the stick in the ground signs or poster like things that they can put on their door. We'll get it done before God knows when the second stage will start. So.
Yeah, maybe it is, Linda, you're onto something. Maybe it's ordering a few signs in small capacity first to see what people are interested, just start getting them out to people. But, I'm happy to, pick Brian's brain a little bit, see what you guys have been working with, Brian, and what's.
Yep. Yeah, and we can maybe lean on Jeff, right? And find out what is he seeing, requests for, what's really moving, if it's
even
not
to
a sticker.
See what he's got, to see what he's got.
Well, I've looked at, so that's why I sent that link. He sent, when I talked to him about it, because I did talk to him in some depth, and that's pretty much, he said, Candace, I'm seeing everything, but really, he goes, if you go to my site, and that's what I did, he said the 11 by 17s, and there's a lot of generic things. People, it's hard. Business owners don't know which ones to get either. Stop. Have you been out of the country? Here are the COVID symptoms. Social distancing, but at the same time, you don't want to have 25 signs all over your store about this stuff.
No, you're right.
And stickers are important, but some people are just, Paula.
I really like the idea that the board, came up with when they offered the sponsorships for Christmas in Tecumseh and that type of thing. So what would the board think of as if we called Jeff and said, hey, look, if you start an account that the BIA gives you X amount of money, and any of our members who call an order, right, they can take X amount of that per order. So maybe, I don't know, 20 bucks an order, 30 bucks an order per member. So in case, because Jeff he has a lot, he even has antibiotic, disinfectant and special material like for medical labs and for our clinics and what have you.
So what would the average cost be per business, Paula, or Candace, whoever?
What's the question?
What would the average cost be for a business to go
Oh, yeah.
in and see Jeff and say, okay, well, you know, we need some signs. It's going to be $40, $50, $100.
It just depends on, as I think Paula was just gonna say, what the business is, what
Yeah.
kind of business they're operating, what have they been regulated to do, how big is their business? You know, there's all of these things that, you know, are gonna determine how many signs they need. So Paula, I like that idea.
I
Mhm.
love
I don't know
it.
how to come up with something that works effectively. Maybe it's, you know, maybe it's a percentage
So
of their
we
thing, but
cover 75% up to $200 of their cost if they order from Lacoste.
now here's one of the other things just to put out there quick, and it's not just about us. So I'm about helping the membership first, but what I do like about us doing something is that we can have a branded piece there. And one of the things we're trying to do is continue to remind them that they are a BIA member.
Yeah.
You know, and so we
Yeah.
can't necessarily do that if they're ordering privately. We're not going to be seeing their proof. You know, that like there won't be any seeing
But
that.
we can send instructions to Jeff to say those people that are putting in the subsidized order,
Yeah,
that our logo goes on the corner, bottom
Mhm.
corner or something.
yeah,
If they want the subsidy, they want the logo. If they don't want the subsidy, then they don't get the logo. Or they don't get the logo if they don't want the subsidy, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, we
Yep.
know what you mean.
Okay, so again, maybe this is, if you guys are cool with it, Brian,
Yeah,
Paul and I can talk, we can figure out which way is the best. Is it gonna be that we figure out an allocation for Jeff and if they work through that? But again, if you guys are comfortable with either way, that we just figure it out, we'll table that with you guys for now and keep you updated so we don't keep everybody in a conversation that'll
Yeah.
string a billion ideas. But here's the other thing, guys, you know, everybody around the table, again, business owners and working and seeing what's happening, talking to people. Now that we've talked about this, you know, tomorrow I'll be working on, please share ideas.
Mhm.
Shane's one I wish was going to be on this call today. I asked for his feedback. It's important. I want to know what you guys are hearing, and it's too hard, especially needing tight timelines, to put it out there to ask our membership. They're not getting back to us. So we are the focus group, right? And who we know is
Yeah.
the focus group. So any feedback you guys might be able to provide that you've heard or that you've seen, let us know, because you know, again, helping our membership right now is everything that we need to be doing. So, Brian,
Well, I
we'll
think-
touch base and
Yep. Yeah. And I think it's going to come down to, you know, maybe even, you know, knocking on a couple doors and saying,
yeah,
you know, if we were to do something, what would be of value to you? And, you know, if it's our retail or our restaurants or, you know, just a couple different businesses, at least that'll give us a little better of a pulse of maybe what people are looking for.
Yep.
And, you know, we'll, you know, and maybe it's something where, you know, we have a couple signs and we throw them up on our website, right? And people can click, they can buy, and like they're zero cost. And then, you know, we compile this order and you know, put it out, right? So
Yep. Yep.
there's so many different ways we can go, but yeah, I think it's kind of the best. Well, I'm happy to work with you on it. And
Yeah.
okay.
I think it'd
Thank
be
you.
nice if you guys came up with a design, because for the business, though, it'll save them the setup fees as well, because it's just done. So it'll really cut the cost for them. It's a great idea, guys.
Thank
and
you.
you know,
Yeah,
my,
and
my bet is, you know, per business, it's hundreds, if not thousands, right?
That's
That
it.
they're spending on this, right? It's just not, you know, 50, $100.
That's it. That's why I find that to be a tough road to try to go down, just because it is. And depending on the business, some might be trying to operate with just a few signs and some might need thousands and thousands of dollars of PPE, right? So again, that's where I say too, and we can act pretty quick, even with Jeff, if we got started and said, get me some signs, right? And we start there just to start while we figure a few other things out and put it on Facebook, and whether it's first come, first serve at, you know, a limited quantity, but whatever it is to start getting them out there. But you're right, it's difficult with that amount, because sometimes saying, you know, $50 might just seem like such a weak support, you know, so.
Yeah. Let's
That's what I
get
was saying.
started with it.
A percentage up to a certain dollar amount. I mean, if we figure there's 200 businesses that would take advantage of this and it's $500 each, well, then we're really eating up the budget. So we got to figure out the cap on each that would be reasonable, and then say it's a percentage. So if they only get $200 worth and we're offering $200, then they get them for free, and that's fantastic. Or is it a percentage of that so that they have some cost? I don't know. I guess we'll
Okay.
leave it to the committee.
Yeah, thank you for your
Yeah.
feedback, guys. We'll sort something out and shoot you an email, keep you posted, and have some more updates for the next meeting.
Good.
And I hope we've got some options to our members, so you'll have something before then. All right. Sorry. Okay. In addition to that, we did get an email. I want to see who was all on that. Sorry, I don't have that in front of me. It's just in my notes. From Michelle Tremblay, the owner of Karma Wine Bar.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think Laura was on that. Andrew, Brian, were you guys on that email? Did you see that one?
Yes. Yeah, I think we might have been both copied. I know Laura did mention in a reply that that the town's already sitting down and talking about what Ms. Trombley might wish to do,
Okay.
and bring something forward in the near future. I did try to reach Ms. Trombley on my own, but my call hasn't been returned yet.
Good.
What does she
I was just-
want?
She's
I
trying
believe
to,
it's.
sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I believe it's conversion of the existing parking lot to allow more seating, more patio seating. And typically with, there's certain minimums for zoning for parking spaces in given areas. And perhaps that, I'm not sure if that's the issue that had been brought forward. That's what I was hoping to connect with her on to understand. But I believe that's what the circumstance was.
Okay, thanks.
All right, keep us posted as to what's happening there. I'm curious, and I wish there was more we could do to help her. All right. Gosh. All right, guys, beautification projects, just continue. I don't want to spend much time on this. We're wrapping up here, and considering, we've got a budget for it. There's some stuff we want to do. This is another one of those things that I'd like to maybe, I don't know if next meeting is too late. I'd like to maybe focus on this a bit more, and Paula, maybe we could actually get some firm ideas for us to move on next meeting. I'm thinking, because again, we were talking about whether we wanted to look at the bus station or, some painted garbage cans, murals, different things. So I just want to dig a little deeper. And, again, I love what's been happening with murals. When you look at how great Ford City looks and Walkerville and all these different areas with these cool murals, and there might be some opportunities, and whether that is working with the town to see something happen on town property or private property owners. I'm not sure. I feel like COVID feels like it's fizzling out a bit, and like there were some businesses in Walkerville who took great initiative and made some really awesome tribute murals during this time. And so I just like to look at maybe some other things that we could be doing, but quite frankly, I want the focus to be just getting as much to our membership as we can to help them at this point.
Mhm.
And I think, sorry, I'm juggling too many things. I think, am I missing, and does anybody have anything to add? Am I missing anything that wasn't covered before we talk about next meeting and adjournment?
Candace, I've got something.
Great.
So just, I think we, just a couple weeks back, we had the email trail about having the special meeting and just how the interpretation of the procedural bylaw would go. So Laura Moy, the clerk, is definitely willing to join the BIA for a meeting. So to go over the procedural bylaw. So she's ready and able to come when the board, if and when the board would like to receive her.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, I didn't hear anything back Don't forget, guys, don't be afraid for the other directors. And I know not, I don't mean afraid, but we're not a full group either, to offer your feedback sometimes to things. And I had asked, you know, what you guys felt about learning more about the bylaws and hearing about that. You know, of course, I don't ever think it's a bad idea. It's all about kind of what's pressing in the meetings, and I always look to see what the other directors are hoping to accomplish in our meetings as well. So yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. I'm not sure when we should look to do that, and I'd love to hear from some of the others. Sounds like we will keep you posted on whether or not. And somehow, you know, all that seemed to get lost. It is too bad, that oversight, because, you know, now more than ever, if we need a special meeting, you know, we need to get to it. So we'll just try to keep that in mind and try to get as much into our meetings as we can to get things done. And then just keep that moving as well, so that we can hopefully, you know, there's about a week's notice, we can get that approved if needed. I don't want that to be a hindrance or a reason why we don't do a special meeting if we need one, right? So we'll keep that in mind moving forward. Does anybody else have anything else to add to the meeting?
No, I mean, I'll just, you know, follow up with that. I think it's certainly of value, right, for the board to understand. And, you know, I'll be the first to admit, I don't even know all the rules, right? And certainly that's why we have the clerk, right? And it's certainly in the best interest that we, you know, we best understand, you know, the rules and the procedures that, you know, we have to follow. You know, on the flip side, you know, if there was an investigation, you know, it would just, you know, not be pleasant, right? And you know, the media and things just, you know, we don't really need that. So, you know, in my opinion, it's the best interest of everybody just to know and understand and, you know, learn of, you know, the rules and procedures that we have to follow in order to do business. And it's, you know, no different than a town as the BIA. We have, you know, the rules that we need to operate by. And, you know, I think it's best if everybody, you know, has a good understanding of what's required and what we have to follow.
Yeah.
Would this be something that we should wait till we get our new person on board?
I was going to recommend that, Linda, that if anything, we wait until we do have our new hire so that we can, you know, make sure that we get that person in on it as well. I think that's important.
Are all the bylaws posted on the town's website?
Yep. Procedural bylaw is there, but it's quite a lengthy document.
Okay.
Yeah, on the
In your director binders are all the majority of the bylaws that the local boards and committees have to follow.
Okay.
Yeah, just to
everyone
further,
receives a copy when you first get onto the BIA board.
yeah, to further what Brian was saying, it's because I don't disagree with you, Brian, and the reason I put it out there is for that reason. You know, everybody does get the majority of things. There's that booklet that we try, especially when you've got a few new directors, but so that they understand what the commitment is and what the involvement here is, and that we very much do have, you know, rules and regulations. It's unfortunate. I think that bit missed all of us, right? And I think that bit missed every single one of us that sit around the table about needing, we've just never been in that position before. Quite frankly, we've never gotten approval on a special meeting. I think it's just simply because we had a long timeline there that usually it wasn't something we were trying to turn around so quickly. So absolutely, I completely get that it's something we all need to review. Let's hope we have some good news very soon about a new candidate and we can schedule this sooner than later. I guess the only thing I would ask is that something that we should be doing in a regular meeting or something that should be called for a special meeting? Simply because, you know, sometimes our meetings can be fairly long-winded, and I want to just make sure that we don't not accomplish business in the sake of taking in too much information. So whether that need a separate meeting, I'm not sure. But either way, let me keep you guys posted on new candidates, new hire information, and then let's get the ball rolling from there. I think that'd be a great time because there's going to be a lot for that individual to learn regarding just exactly that, bylaws, municipal act and stuff. So.
And I can check, or Andrew and I can verify with Laura, if she were to come, how much time, right?
That'd
to
be
cover it
helpful.
would be, and then we can let you know.
Perfect. That'd be helpful. That'll help us decide what kind of meeting we need for that. So thank you. All right. In that case, one more time, anything else to add to the meeting? Anyone? All right. Well, then at this time, it looks like we'll be seeing each other in another 4 weeks. That'll be July 8th, 6 p.m. electronically. We'll do the same thing. I haven't been back, but it looks like our live continued just fine this meeting. So I don't know what happened there in the first place, but that's good. And that's all.
Can I ask a question? When we
Yep.
got the invite for the meeting tonight, you sent the one from Google, and on the same invite was the one that Paula put on. So which one are we using? Because I ended up having to go with the one you sent because I couldn't get into the one that Paula sent.
What did Paula send?
Well, I don't know, it's just further down the Zoom meeting. And you sent the one on yours was Google.
Use my
Oh.
Google one.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
what
That's weird.
I didn't send any.
I was gonna say, I didn't think you said, I sent it all. I set up the meeting and I sent it.
Okay. But on there, I can't turn my other thing on now because it's too much. I'll show it to Paula, see what
Okay,
I
yeah,
did.
and we'll figure that out. But
Yeah.
yeah, in that calendar, I'll have that sent out and then we'll continue to do this live.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, there was 2 invites sent out. And
Really?
yeah, and then in I think in Candace, in yours, it actually had a Google Meet
Yeah, that's
link,
the one
and then it had the Zoom link
further
as
down.
well. Yeah. So
Oh, okay. I think, oh, and you're saying, Linda, that the Zoom one didn't work, but the Google one did?
Yeah, I had to go in and download or refresh Google Chrome, and that's how I got you tonight. But the other one with the Zoom one, the little hamster was still on the wheel. He's probably still there. Well, wouldn't come through.
Weird, interesting, because all I'm doing is going into our Zoom account.
Yep.
I schedule it, I add it to my calendar, and then I share that with all of you.
I got it last month. It worked last month. I don't know what.
Yeah, I didn't do anything different.
Anyway.
Let me know.
Okay.
Let me know if you guys are having
Yeah.
any problem. For now, I'll continue doing what I've been doing, but if there's any issues, let me know.
I'll show it to Paula, see what I did.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Yep.
All right. Motion to adjourn. Linda's hand went up very quickly. Thank you. Seconded by Brian. All in favor, Scott's waving. Carries,
Who else out there?
Meeting adjourned. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian,
Bye.
I'll shoot you an email and we'll touch base on this COVID stuff.
okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.